Alright guys, I know I'm not exactly the housewife type, but we need to talk about some shit.
So for today I'm going to be discussing the concept of all women are like that. So through my journey of making this channel, on almost every single video, I have someone who's trying to argue with the points that I come up with. And oh, well my girlfriend did this, or I know people that did that clearly disproves your experience with women, that it's just your perspective, Marcel.
You should probably listen to your real life friends a little more then, man. It sounds like they're concerned about your paranoia. I mean, look, if you want to spend years hiding behind pictures of attractive women while preaching to other angry and paranoid dudes who also have bad luck in the dating scene, you're more than welcome to. But when you focus all of your hatred and distrust to an entire 50% of the population without even taking into account their lifestyles, their individual personalities, their upbringing, and everything that goes along in making a person's moral spectrum, then I can guarantee you that the problem is not them. The problem is you. But you're not gonna listen to me because I don't own a dick of my own. This is silly.
I also get the occasional woman that comes along and says, oh, clearly your video is wrong because I don't behave in blank way. The fact that I lack that one behavioral trait of which you refer to at some point in your video means that I'm different from all the rest.
No, man, this isn't an I'm different from the rest of them moment. This is someone trying to say, hey man, bad people exist. Not everyone's bad. Come on, let's get out of the basement. Come on, buddy. Dude, your tinfoil hat puts mine to shame.
So today I'm going to explain my perspective, my opinion on all women. Now see right there. Someone's hair just stood up straight. Someone got triggered. I can already feel the rumbling from all of the clacking keyboards as they amount to defense.
Ah, would you look at that? Looks like more of a circle jerk to me, but fuck it. I'll bite. I'll be triggered, whatever that means.
Isn't it amazing how many guys even will come rushing to the defense of the 99% because of the 1% example that differs from the claim?
Truly, it's incredible how many white knights are here in the weird incel-y MGTOW corner of the internet. Wrong corner, get out! Get out! Don't catch their virginity!
Let's define a few things. When I'm referring to a good or bad woman, or female behavior, if we want to put it that way, I suppose we could narrow it down for the sake of this discussion to the level of hypergamous behavior.
Alright, now Marcel, is it cool if I call you by your first name? So I feel like we're gonna get a lot farther that way. You don't really strike me as a super scientific kind of guy. And even if you were, there's a staggering amount of bias here, but I'm gonna help you out for the sake of the warm fuzzies. Now for the rest of us down here in Peasantville, what he's referring to when he says hypergamous behavior, he actually means gold-digging slut bags. Now that we got that out of the way, I promise you guys it only gets worse from here.
Now I don't want hypergamy to be kind of a catch-all for women the same way that like patriarchy is for men. Sort of a generalized boogeyman bad thing that women do.
Well, you fooled me, man. I thought you were gonna start saying some dumb shit.
But for the sake of this discussion, it is what I'm referring to. And in this context, it is a negative behavior.
Never mind. There it is.
Now, whenever I get comments to the effect of, no Walt, not all women are like that, I always think to myself, women are like seawater. In that you can say there are good women out there in the same way that there is fresh water in the sea. Amongst the millions of gallons and millions of women, there are good ones. So, grab a glass and take a drink. Maybe you won't get a big mouthful of salt.
Yeah, and if the role was reversed on this and you replace women with men, you and your type of people would be pooping chickens, screaming misandry. Like, I don't know why I can't sexually harass my coworkers like I could in the 1940s. I mean, come on, man. If you think your position is any different than the insane third wave feminists, you're not only stupid, but you're completely delusional as well. The fact is, the majority of women do not identify as feminists. According to Huffington Post, it's about 23% in the US and about 7% in the UK. And to be honest, man, if that's who you're scared of, and I hate to admit this, but they're winning.
Now, what I'm getting at by that is that women will all carry a level of hypergamy, almost like a spectrum.
I don't believe it's hypergamy if you want to be in a relationship with somebody that you can view a future with and can take up the adult reins of responsibility with you equally. Take it from me, I've supported plenty of losers that needed to get off my damn lawn. I highly suggest to all my male and female friends to not get with somebody that's dead weight and who will bug out in the garage with their canine with you, not without you.
Humor me in an analogy here. Let's say between a woman and an autistic person. But let's say that you have an autistic child. It is entirely possible for an autistic child to be raised and nurtured to a level where they'll be completely functioning in society as if they were never on a spectrum. It's possible with proper counseling and depending on the level of degree that they're afflicted when they're born, when they are raised, it may never come up at all. Then you take that same child in a separate scenario where they're raised on red food coloring and paint chips, and odds are they're going to express that condition in a much more pronounced way. It's going to be a lot more obvious, and they're not going to be functioning.
Dude, how can you compare the average woman to somebody that has a serious and incurable developmental disorder? I have trained service dogs for some amazing kids with autism, some which didn't even have the ability to speak. I do not understand in your head what makes you think that that's an acceptable comparison. People do not choose to be autistic. Some people, like the small percentage of women that you're bitching about, choose to be degenerate shitbags, but they do not choose serious developmental disorders. People can choose to be better people, but you're comparing them to somebody that is born with a serious mental condition. And for that, you are a complete fucking moron and just as degenerate as the people that you're bitching about.
Now, if you were to apply that to hypergamy in women, it is possible that a woman can be nurtured and given proper care and raised respectfully, where you wouldn't shit on someone for no obvious reason just because they can. That it is possible for there to be a high-functioning relationship.
So basically this guy is saying all women, yes, all women, have no real emotional connection to anything and therefore cannot form meaningful relationships, marriages, friendships, etc. because this fucking virgin has some serious fucking issues that make all women run to the hills. Someone go check the foundation of this guy's house. I'm pretty sure this one's a serial killer.
But that doesn't change the fact that the whole thing can go south at any minute, or the behavioral patterns that exist within it despite that high function. The sweetest, most charming, most respectful woman who's loving and caring, quotation marks here, can go completely hypergamous and destroy the man that she supposedly loves in an instant, given the right set of circumstances which are completely outside of his control.
And men are just as well capable of the exact same things. That is the nature of relationships. You cannot predict where someone's breaking point is. You cannot predict what anybody will turn into a few years down the road, and really any relationship is a huge gamble on whether or not the person you've chosen will turn into a complete piece of human garbage. Sometimes you find compatible garbage that's good with your own garbage, and you rot together. You sit there and you rot together, and human nature is a nasty, nasty thing. But let's face it, that's how the world works, and that's how everything with humans is going to be. Everything from jobs, relationships, friendships, everything. People are scum. And I actually agree with you on this one. We should kill them all. Wait, what?
Think of the countless examples of where a woman has lost weight or has made more money or met someone of higher status, and despite decades of supposed love and dedication to a guy, has, almost effortlessly leaped onto the next guy without even a perceivable ounce of remorse.
Yeah, we should force everybody to stay in their relationships and bonded for life, even when your life evolves and that person refuses to. I'm not saying get out of one person's pants and into another, but dude, men and women do that pretty frequently. It's called a rebound, and it's a coping mechanism for a lot of people, especially the ones that are bad at relationships. Of course, you would know this if you ever went outside and made friends with other humans.
Say for a moment that a guy, yourself even, whoever's listening, walks up and sees a $100 bill sticking out of a woman's purse. I'm going to assume that the vast majority of maybe a few of you would, some people would.
Oh god, just take the money! Just take the money! Oh no!
Every single woman has a point. They have a limit within their relationships where they will justify hurting that man. For some, it may be as blunt and obvious as just literally seeing a better guy and walking away from him. She may not have any remorse whatsoever snatching that $100 bill away from the guy right in front of everyone, and she won't care. Though for most of them, it's going to be a point where they can rationalize it as an appropriate decision, where they remove their sense of guilt or remorse based upon the circumstances.
Again, this is relationships. This has happened to me before, and it's been perpetuated by men. You cannot go into relationships with this completely virgin attitude that this person will never hurt you, because chances are they will. And again, sometimes there is. I feel like I've done pretty damn good finding my hairy rage god that deals with my bullshit.
Enough excuses, enough missed dates, enough forgotten birthdays, enough opportunities with a better guy where she feels comfortable, like there's no way of falling away from having any romantic interactions at all, where no matter what, she's going to be taken care of, she won't be alone. They have a limit, and it's entirely possible that a great deal of it has nothing to do with a negative behavior from the guy.
Yeah, if you're forgetting plans and special occasions with somebody that's supposed to be your partner, then you're a shitty partner. Which goes back to my first point, it's not them, it's you. You're literally shitting on your own relationships and then blaming it on women, which is extremely childish. It's like watching a kid jump off a trampoline face first, and then get right back on the trampoline to do it again, and then blame it on the dog that's living inside. It just doesn't make any sense.
When that woman, whoever she is, has the right set of situations pile up where she can justify it as the appropriate decision, even if everyone else looking at it would see it as still wrong, she's going to do it.
Some people have a very dog-eat-dog view of the world because the world is dog-eat-dog. I've had just as many men pull the exact same shit with me. You just have to move on. That's the only option. You can't force somebody to love you.
And that all these supposedly good women that are, perfect girlfriends or the counter examples simply have not been in that circumstance yet. And I can claim that with the same level of confidence that I can say at some point, everybody's gonna stick that $100 bill in their pocket.
God, this guy is such a whiny bitch. Get over it. You make knitting circles seem tough.
I am here to tell the men of the world, metaphorically and kind of literally in a way, put your money away. Stop leaving it out on the counter. Don't let it hang out of your pocket. Because eventually, a woman's going to be able to justify just snatching it up. And in her mind, it's going to be doing the right thing. Or at the least, acting acceptably. Relationships, be it serious or otherwise, are ticking time bombs. And treating the woman better or trying harder doesn't guarantee anything, and in some cases can actually have the opposite effect.
Protect your virginity. End the human race. Don't breed, man. I can guarantee you that the majority of chicks in this Tinder age of shitheads are thrilled when a guy doesn't treat them like complete trash. I know I am, but This is completely counteracted when you're a nice guy who's probably David Parker Ray, or at the very least gives off those vibes. If you want the Whammons to run from you faster than Seabiscuit at the Kentucky Derby, step 1 is having an entire YouTube channel that outlines your crazy fucking ideas about the opposite sex. And have a circle-jerking horde of virgins suck you off every time you make a video.
Invest in ourselves. That is the best way to guarantee that we're not royally taken advantage of. The only way.
Yes! Better yourself and focus on yourself, do things that you like to do, and when you're happy, productive, happy people come into your life. It's incredible how that works. It's incredible how that works. Holy shit, there's actually one good point in this video that I actually agree with that isn't full of incel-y bullshit.
I have started making music a little more consistently, so if you're interested in that, I'm still currently posting it in my Mirror channel.
Oh god, he's a musician too? Let's give this a shot.